Okay, so Baruch Hashem, we're going to go weiter in our relationship flow, Likutei Halachos, inspired from Rabbi Nachman, Rebbe, from the Talmud, Rabbi Nosson, big tzaddikim, and we're going to tap into the important teachings that both tzaddikim, Baruch Hashem, were megaleh. And we have to thank Hashem, for everything. Hashem, so we just got the headphones in, so miss microphone, so Mr. Hashem will hear better. But the main nekuda when you're learning Torah from Rabbenu is how to bring it into Daas, how to make it Lamaisa, because Rabbi Nachman's nekuda was not just Chochmah Bina, it was Daas. It was always Da. No, Rabbi Nachman was trying to bring it into the door that we're in, with the Nasionis we're in, with the Metzias we're in. And even though his Talmud is basing this, Rabbi Nosson, on the Shulchan Aruch, and some of the halachas like Purim Chatzos is not always so seemingly practical, we're going to see that with the right hashkafa we can make it practical for where we're holding right now, and it can also give us aspirations and push us a little bit more in our hashkamas boker, which is the first halacha of Shulchan Aruch, which is this continuation. And the essence of devotional perfection, the most effective practical way of strengthening mood is to muster great strength and willpower to rise at midnight. We have to try and push ourselves to get up at Chatzos. Now remember, we've learned in there's different sheetahs what Chatzos. It means midnight after this man of Chatzos of 12 o'clock or 12:30 or whatever that is right now. Or does it mean getting up extra early in the morning before Alas HaShachar, so you're still in the night and you're Makayim Chatzos then? So that means you go to bed a bit early, and you wake up early. This is how it used to be for most people, and like a lot of their Hashem, they get up early in the morning. Like not just morning, when it's still night. So then they don't have to get up in the middle, do Chatzos and go back to bed, which is that's the more traditional understanding of it, which is very difficult. Migdal Hazara Shechayev Kol Yami Shenoga Yira Hashem, I think he's going to say. Yes, Hashem believe Amar B'Chatzos Laila Dafka. This is clarified in numerous places in the Holy Zohar regarding we have to be extra careful, cautious, that anyone whose heart has been touched by awe of Hashem is already to exercise to ensure that it rises specifically at midnight. So there's obviously a lot of Torahs about the Zohar, a lot of Zohar, Rishis Chochmah, Shara Kedusha, which cites on the importance of rising at midnight to serve Hashem. And it's brought in Halacha as well, in Shulchan Aruch. It's not just a Panemius thing. I mean, it's all in Halacha. The whole point of Likutei Halachos is to show that in Halacha is Panemius. Waking up in the middle of the night is a Panemius Avodah, it means Gaber on your sleep and through Emuna. And I would say that one of the chizuks we can get Lamaisa is coming up with Purim, and this I heard from Gedaliah, for instance, Emes Amito, and I've heard it from tzaddikim before him, from Mr. Zilberberg, and big of their Hashem, the idea of waking up early Purim Nacht. There's no Inyan to party. I mentioned this in the Tanya Shir the other day. There's no Inyan to party on last Purim. The main mitzvah of the Suda is in the day. You have a chiyuv of Kriyas Megillah, of Kriyas Shachris, like every day you have chiyuvim, you have shlach manas and tasivonim, and if a person's going to get shikah in the night and then sleep in the day and then wake up late and missing Megillah and a shlach, and not only that, every minute of Purim is Kodesh Kadoshim, is Lifnai Lifnim, is Melech, Lifnei HaMelech, like Esther Malchus, Lifnei HaMelech. And you have to chaperoin and daven. So the whole end of getting up into the night, you should apply even more so Purim. You should try to get up extra early Purim and say some Tehillim. A lot of tzaddikim would say the whole Tehillim in the morning before davening. They would do a lot of Espodadus, a lot of Avodah. And just to waste the day with, I don't know what, sleeping and whatever, that's not the Avodah. V'tikkun hazeh lezachis lefitoch es Daas legalis shvilei haseichu hu oyedei limud Poskim v'chulu canal. The ticket for this is to merit opening the mind and revealing the Posak intellect. It's through the study of the rulings of Jewish law. That's Poskim. And we have to know what the Poskim say, because we have to keep Pusak Halacha. We can't just do what we want. There's Pusak Halacha, there's Rotzon Hashem. We have to learn, but the tikkun helps open up our minds, our mochin, because we have to build kelim. One of the ways building kelim is by doing this holy avodah of Chatzos. So see, he's bringing it into practical. It's not just fly around in the middle of the night doing holy avodas. It should open up your mind to get more more aligned, more in tune with the will of the Kodesh Baruch Hu, keeping halacha, Pesach halacha, doing Rotzon Hashem. V'azochin the shalom is batul and machlokas. One that merits peace and the machlokas is eliminated. Because if you're doing Rotzon Hashem, your wife, your soulmate, would do your Rotzon. When you're not aligned and you're busy with shtiyah, so then she's not going to be doing your Rotzon. She's going to be Eza Kenegdo. She's not going to be an Eza, she's going to be Kenegdo. And that Kenegdo is not so geshmak. Like, it's machlokas. And the machlokas is going on for hours. Instead, you could have woken up a bit early, serve Hashem a bit more, get tuned into Pesach Halacha. Now you're doing Rotzon Hashem. Now you have more shalom in your life. And she'll do shalom with you. Shem Bechinas, Kefiris, V'Apikosis. This machlokas was an aspect of denial and heresy. Often, if you're really sensitive and you root back every machlokas you've ever had, because you're allowing a little bit of apikosis or heresy, kfira inside your heart. Yeah? Because if you're in a state of Emuna, in a state of betochin, in a state of simcha, you're not going to get caught up with people's kindness. You're not going to get triggered by people. You're not going to get affected by anybody. And then Hashem doesn't need to send them to you anyway to test you, because you're in a good state. You're serving Him. What does He need to give you there? And if He does, you're not going to pay attention to it, because you're just seeing everything is in a good matzav. You're serving Hashem. But you need to be busy getting into all these fights with people and with money stuff, to pressure people no pressure, no chasing people, not going crazy. You just once in a while you send a reminder if someone owes you money. You don't have to put all these emotions into it. You just get what you need to do done until it gets done. And if it's not meant to be with this person, it'll be somewhere else. And this kind of thing, it's all to do with Emuna. The reason why we get to Machlokes is because we're having our own Nisoyin and Emuna. So then we think, this person needs to pay us. I don't believe that Hashem's going to finance me this Chodesh. I need to go crazy. This person needs to give me the money. Or something happens, I got started getting messages from some old tax thing from a few years ago from my accountant. I was like, what? Why are they suddenly messaging me now? And then I said to myself, you know what? Let me just take care of it like that. And I messaged them back. It wasn't as bad as it seemed. And slowly, you start to be misadar it, and it goes away. Yeah. But if they start freaking out, you make it into a freak out. And then you start making mistakes, you start telling them things that they don't need to know right now, and suddenly it's all one big balagan. And that's machlokas. And then you start, it's all about tali on Emuna. And remember, this is being miyashiv. Yeah? The Daas acquires by studying the rulings of Pesach Halacha. He knows how to answer the heretic in his heart. Remember, we're dealing with the Amalek, Milchamas Amalek. It's not just, we were just learning, we had a whole shir this Sunday about, is Hamas Amalek? So, according to a lot of teachers, like with Shmuel Eliyahu, Hamas is Amalek, yeah? It's a Metzias where they took on the Ashkafa of Amalek, and so other sheeters say it has to be Zerah Amalek, it has to be from Esav and Eliphaz, and the whole, it has to be Mamish Zerah. And since it was all Mabal, but we don't really know who they are. So how can you say they're Amalek and Mamish Al-Pi Halacha? So there's a machlokas in Poskim, and Masoris. So you can do what you want with that. But everyone agrees we have to get rid of the Amalek inside ourselves. That's for sure. Any sveikas, any apikosis, any kafira we have to remove from our heart. How do we answer these voices in our heart? Through Pesach Halacha. Once you've got Pesach and you're clear, you have a klorkai in Halacha, now the Yetzer, what can he tell you? You're serving Hashem. You're serving the King of the world. You're doing the Melech is 100% what Hashem wants right now. Saying Kriya Shema B'zmana, you're learning Torah, you're doing a mitzvah Talmud Torah. You have no sveikas. There's nothing else. Like it says, by people who really learn Torah properly, everything else becomes dead at that moment. Yeah, it says mace ba'oil. What does it mean now? When you're learning in the oil of Torah, everything else becomes nothing. Like it's all garnished. You're just in the mitzvah of the mitzvah of Talmud Torah. And etc., yeah? And then you don't have any more sveikas once you're doing a mitzvah. Your mitzvah panasa, you do a mitzvah panasa, yeah? So you say, what's for mitzvah panasa? Yeah, because you have to have panasa to be able to support your family, or support yourself, eventually to get to a family, or the different mitzvahs of Purim, everything needs, it's all in slavim and stages. So everything's a chana for the next. So constantly we're in mitzvahs. Lios b'mitzvah tamid. Yeah, lios b'simcha tamid. To be b'simcha tamid, have to mitzvah tamid. And this gets rid of this kafira in our hearts. Shozeh srikan is gabek kom chatzos laila. And that's why, in truth, everyone has a bit of heresy in her. And that's why a person needs to become the Midnightrabbi and wake up, in the middle of the night. It's what I try to do for years. Kiyom v'layla shehem bechinas orav v'choshech, he bechinas daas v'kisish, shehi hastaras yediyah. For day and night, which correlates of light and darkness, represents daas and shtiyah, which is the concealment of what? Knowledge. Kamava b'divrei b'zeinu zal, b'toyev darshu v'chulu, shedasu bechinas or. Daas, the Rebbe's words, remember I said Daas is the key word here. Daas is the aspect of what? Light. And that's from the Rebbe. That's the Rabbi Nachman. Yeah? Rabbi Nachman himself, he has a whole lesson, Dirshu. It's Likutei Maran in the first section, Lamed Zayin. We already did this in our Likutei Maran shir a few months ago. And that Torah talks about the Daas corresponds to light. The Kislas, Bechinas Hastaras Yidehu Bechinas Choshech. In contrast, Shtiyah, foolish ways of thinking, that is the concealment of das, and that's to do with choshech, the opposite. The opposite of or is choshech. Choshech nimshach machshav is das who hastaras yideh. For the physical darkness of night stems from the darkness of das, namely concealment of knowledge and Hashem's immanence. Hashem's megala, you're hiding, making Hester Hashem. Whole Hasta Banai, the whole Megillas Esther is to reveal Hashem in the Hester. And that's why all these questions come on our Emuna come from that hiding of Das, hiding of Hashem, the revelation of Hashem, the Gilui of Hashem. And that's why the Megillah Esther is so powerful, because it comes and shows Hashem in the darkest places, lowest places, the most far away places. Everything is revealing Hashem through Megillah Esther. That's why it's Mashiach the Torah. Today we went to Dovid the HaKohen. We suddenly got a message from him that we can come meet with him at 12 o'clock. So I said to my wife, it's like an hour. She just got back from teaching. I messaged a friend of Aaron Yosef because we wanted to meet with Aaron Yosef. Aaron Yosef said he could make it there in time. So he quickly ran off to go make it there. Mommy got ready and we quickly ran out of the house. We made it just before 12. Went in. He straight away let us sit with him and we spoke with Aaron Yosef. But obviously that's a lot private. But he went straight into this whole Torah. That's why I bring it up about Purim. Purim is such an awe. It's the first thing he said to us. Purim is such an awe that you have to find ways to bring that awe into Tehillim, to bring that light, the Das, into the vessel. And Mishnah Kazada Mam B'Simcha. And what's the reason why we get so B'Simcha? Because unlike if it's Chodesh Rishon, we don't say, if it's 2 Chodeshim of Adar Rishon, Adar Sheni, we don't do the Purim on the first of that first Adar. Why don't we? Because even though it's Mavir and Ala Mitzvahs to skip it over, we do it because Gula Samach Gula. We have to connect Purim to Pesach. Why Purim to Pesach? We have to connect the Nes Gilui to the Nes B'Teva. We have to connect the fact that when Hashem's hiding himself, he's still revealing himself B'Derech Nes, even in the Teva. Even in the Stam, like you saw with the whole mice with the gun, or all the different things we go through in life, where Hashem shows himself, like through the war. Hashem does miracles B'Toch Teva. And he's constantly showing us that these miracles, like right now we're davening for miracles with Iran. Hashem's showing us, and he's giving us ability in our daily life to have the korach to miskaber on our kafira and miskaber on our guf, and to be able to wake up and have a frish kite. This is all b'toch teva. This is the real bigger nes. The nes of Purim was kima v'kiblu v'kavah was a higher madrega than Pesach, because Pesach was all outside of teva. So
Purim when the Jews didn't believe in Ashichat Pratetes.
Yeah, not fully. They didn't take it on Bahava, but Rotzon. By Pesach and by Kabbat Soda, there was a big, Hargigis, it was scary, they were scared of Hashem, it was Yira. But it wasn't Barotzon, it wasn't Bahava, it wasn't this tremendous. Tshuva B'Yira, it was Tshuva Bahava was Purim. Tshuva B'Yira was Kabbalah Satorah, Shavua, scary. If you don't keep the Yiddishkeit, scary stuff. But Tshuva Bahava, Rotzon, relationship became, we're talking about here, relationship flow, that we should have that deep relationship. We're no longer arguing with our wife because it's aligned. We're tuned into the Avo of the relationship, we're tuned into the Rotzon of the relationship. That's the kind of Emuna. And now, once you have that kind of light, like someone said to me the other day, I was giving a shir, and he said, I was saying that when you control yourself, you're zoche, when you restrain yourself, you're zoche to simcha. He said, but what about the union of Mevakshi Hashem? Ismach lei Mevakshi Hashem. Isn't that moch Hashem? I said, now if you have Yismach Lev, you have a happy heart, Mevaksh Hashem, and mainly you're controlling yourself, because you're not going to be interested in all the shtiya. All these heretical thoughts, all this kafira and all this stuff in your heart goes away, because you're Mevaksh Hashem all the time. Yismach Lev Mevaksh Hashem, you're busy with Hashem. Look, he says a nice thing here. He says in Gedalia Fencer, says, when distance awakens prayer, the greater the pain is being distant from Hashem, Hashem wants a relationship with us, and He will get your attention. Rabbi Hutner says prayer won't get you out of trouble, but trouble will get you into prayer. Yeah, we've all experienced that. When we're going through the Nisyanos, we suddenly come more stronger to feel us. A seed for growth. He told a story of Dovid HaKohen. There was a yid trying to get a deer in Yishayah, couldn't find one, this, that. So then he went to the kosel, started screaming to Hashem, crying. And a wealthy yid came along, saw him, and asked him what's going on, and then helped him get a deer. So then he went back to the kollel, told the sipur that he had a deer now. So there was this whole miracle. So then everyone in the kollel started going down to the kotel and davening. After a few weeks, no one else got a deer, no one else had any yeshuas, like the way this yid had. So they said, what's pshat? We also went to the kotel and davening. Yeah, but this guy, he was in the Nisyanos. He was screaming to Hashem. He was talking to Hashem. You guys were talking to a deer. You were talking to what you could get. He was screaming to Hashem to save him. So because it was so amiti that upheld the Yeshua. The other ones were just, they were going there for shvacha reasons. Pain is not punishment, it's cooling. When life feels too heavy to cut right, it's usually because Hashem is gently or forcefully inviting you back into relationship. He wants your heart, not your perfection, not your performance, just your presence. When we start running and start speaking to Hashem with honesty, with realness, something softens. Sometimes the only way we return when nothing else seems to work. And that return is precious. Hashem values us more than we know. If pain brings you back to Hashem, then even pain has a purpose. So that's why, we don't daven for pain. We ask Hashem to save us from Yisurim. But when we're going through on some level, to use it, it's a tool, it's energy, it's engine, it's oil. Get up a bit early, daven to Hashem, talk to Hashem a bit more real, push yourself a little bit more. To do Purim, Chaparayim. Don't let this holy day just fly past all the mitzvahs of Yom. Use every minute. Don't be so shook you can't even experience it. The night time, protect the night, so the morning is Hashkamas Boker. This is how we have to be. Ki Esa Bazar, Kad, Purish Leila Gadfa, as I mistamin trying the Gan Eden. Nemuse Gurudin Nafkim Ba'alma Sanek Ayidai Betunusa. When night spreads its wings, the gate is of Gan Eden that close shut. The force of darkness is should fall from the world is then governed through the matron. So we're no longer in the realm of light, of Daas. And the night time comes, this choshech. So what's his matron? He says this refers to Shechina, which works in the works that Eli G knows as matron. All Israel's Yidden are princes, says in the Gemara. B'nai Menachem Heim. So the divine persona of Malchus, the source of Yiddish souls, is called matron, holy queen. Being the lowest of the sphere, Malchus interface between supernal worlds and this low world, of course, and thus serves as the agent, the memtsui between Hashem and man. The agency is depicted in the following Pasham Zohar, relationship between the Holy One. Every mission that Hashem wishes issues from the house of Matron, every mission from the below of the kings sends first to the house of Matron, from there to the king. Thus, the Matron is the agent of all above to below. Consequent word of time, since gone by Matron, is one that calls for Emuna rather than Daas. That's why, what do we say in the morning? We say Emes v'yatziv after Krishma. What do we say in the night? Emes v'Emuna. It's about Emuna in the night. Emuna b'leilis. The day, the Hagid B'chas Dercha, everything's clear. That's Daas. But the night, it's Emuna. That's when the Emuna needs to kick in. We said it's Shach to the Shechina about Malchus. We've been talking again and again, this Nakuda. Okay, should we do a little bit more, or is that enough for now? What do you say? A bit more?
When we go with this up, I should not get caught.
Okay, so we should go back to Mechabit Mami. Very good. So Yom Le'er tonight. Just one more point. It's Moshe Rabbeinu's Hilula tonight. And that's Daas. Moshe Rabbeinu's Daas. The Tzaddik is Daas. Rabbi Nachman is Daas. To connect to Tzaddikim is connecting into Daas. Moshe Rabbeinu Lamala, Mordechai Lamata. We're with the Tzaddik. And Mommy's Yom Yeled. It's on the same day. We have a holy Mommy, a soulmate. Her name is Masha, which is the same Bechina of Moshe. She was born on the same day of the Hilula and the Yom Leda of Moshe. We have to tune into the Rotzon. Rotzon is Gematria of Moshe with the Kola, or Masha is with the Aleph. That's the Rotzon. Tune into the Rotzon, into the Daas. And with the Daas, we have the ability to get rid of all the negativity and all the choshech and be in the place of awe. Hashem Oli. and to be megala the or in Purim, to megala the or in the mitzvahs, to megala the or in Shalom Bayis and Hinuch and Simcha, and Mizach Bez Hashem to a Freilich and Purim Tamid.